This is the iRacing Rob Race Day, brought to you by SASWorldTravels.com. And the race has just started here at Monza Oval. Left turns here in Italy. We are doing 20 laps here in the non-official race, multi-class, racing with Dallaras and Lotus 79. We only have one Lotus 79 here in this race. So that person's at a disadvantage. They don't have anyone to work with or draft with at the beginning of the race. We're looking from Robert Jones 6's Dallara as he gets into sixth gear here going out of turn 4. As you can see right now, James Mercy is winning this race, followed by Juan Cordero and Nadaski Tamas. Robert Jones is in 5th place at the moment. Monza is a very fast track. Drafting is very important here. No one's going to get too far ahead of anyone. You will catch up with them at the draft. That's why it's important to be really strategic about how you go about this race. You see Robert Jones and his green Dallara DW12 hanging back to see what's going to happen, feeling the racers out, not trying to race people at the beginning of the race, seeing what the drivers are capable of and seeing how to play out the 20-lap race. As you can see, the banking here at Mazda. That high banking is what gives you the high speed racing here on this gigantic oval, 2.6 mile oval approximately. Longer than Daytona. Robert has inched his way into 4th place now, with James Mercy still leading the pack. Small packet it is in this unofficial 20-lap race. Usually more people register to race this race. It's a fun race to race. It just happens to be early in the morning and people aren't really up yet, and you don't get the big turnout you do as you do later in the afternoon. As we're coming around the turn, looking from the Robert Jones 6 vehicle to number 21. Robert Jones in 4th place. 3 cars in front of him. Robert Jones is not worried the slightest. The draft is right there. He knows that he can draw up on any of these cars really quickly as long as he keeps a good line and stays with them. Oh, we have a little bit of a problem there. That looks like Frederick Suffelf running into the guardrails there, so you won't go to the road course portion of this Monza track. And Frederick just ran right into him, and that's definitely going to slow his car down. Looks like one of those protective barriers are stuck on his vehicle. So Frederick's way back in the pack with our lowly Lotus vehicle that had no help. So this has turned out to be a 3-person race to the finish. This race has been brought to you by SASWorldTravels.com. Get gone. Plan a trip now at SASWorldTravels.com. Here we are, looking from the Robert Jones 6 number 21 vehicle. Not necessarily a vehicle. Let's call it a Dallara DW12. A powerful machine, not merely a vehicle. Robert Jones is still behind the leaders, dropping back, waiting for the leaders to make a mistake, waiting for someone to show their cards, and not quite ready to pounce yet. But he better be careful. He's starting to drop back. If he loses them in the draft, that could be a very unfortunate situation in this race. He needs to keep up in order for this strategy to work. Coming around turn 1 and 2. Robert Jones 6th and 3rd place. James Mercier, the number 64 car, leading. Nicolas Taureau in the number 3 in 2nd. We are just drafting along at the Monza Oval. Left turns. They also go right at Monza. If I can get the name of this track right, I'll be an all-star broadcaster. We're struggling a little bit with the name of this course. It is Monza, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like the number 3 of Nicolas Taureau got a little bit loose on that corner. That's exactly the type of things that Robert Jones 6 is looking for to pounce and make his move. Looking for mistakes to be made, just cruising right behind, not picking a draft partner per se to work with, just letting them draft, letting them do the work, waiting to see if someone makes a mistake. Sometimes the key to winning these races aren't necessarily the fastest person, the most aggressive person. It's the most patient person. Will patience be a virtue in this race? Robert Jones 6 is looking like he's losing the draft again. Nicholas and James are working together. And for the moment, it seemed like they were just going to draft away from Robert Jones 6, but they keep separating from each other. That goes into favor of Robert Jones and the number 21. But if they can work together, they can make this a two-man race. Robert Jones might have been playing his cards a little bit too conservative, and he's starting to drop back in the pack. We don't even see the first and second place cars anymore. They're drifting back. James has still got the lead here, though there might be some leapfrog action with Nicolas Taureau, number 3. Going along the straightaway here, you see all those trees and this oval. Nice, beautiful scenery here in Italy. The track looks great, laser scanned from Italy, Iracing.com. Doing another great job with the texturing of this track. Going through the grandstands, the start-finish line here. We just completed the line. Oh, we got trouble here. We've got trouble. The leaders, the first and second place car, got into a wreck. That was the opportunity Robert Jones 6 was looking for as he creeps right by Nicolas Taureau. There was no challenge for the lead there. That collision made him lose momentum. Robert Jones 6 is the clear leader now. Wow. It happens that quick here at Monza. It happens that quick here at Monza. We were just talking about how beautiful the scenery was, and all of a sudden, Nicolas Taureau and James Mercier get together. Robert Jones took full advantage of that one, took the lead, and look, and there's a convincing lead. At this point, Nicolas might not have anything. He got together with James. He probably has damage on his car. We can't tell from here, but there's probably damage on his car, slowing him down. He might not be able to catch Robert to draft with him to stay in this. Robert Jones has a full functioning car, and he's driving. As long as Robert Jones doesn't make a mistake, he could have a win this morning. We are halfway through the race at Monza, 10 laps to go, but this race is over. Robert Jones 6 in the 21 car will wrap this one up and get a win this morning, Friday the 13th, in the multi-class race between the Dallaras and the Lotus 79s. This has been another great race on iRacing.com.